Hello guys, Trey here, and today I want to shed some light on a specific bug in the forest that doesn't really happen that often. Maybe some of you encountered it before, maybe some didn't. But when it does happen, it is actually very annoying. And I've actually analyzed the bug. I replicated it, and I did manage to find out why it happens, or when exactly it would happen, and the effects it would cause to your game when it does happen, and how to actually fix it afterwards. Because you see, the very important thing about this bug is the fact that when you save your game while in that specific bug, while it's actually active, when you load it again, the same bug will be there. So basically, if you do save while bugged, this save of yours is completely destroyed or completely ruined if you don't know how to fix it. So without further talking, let me just get into it, and I'll show you how to actually fix this when it happens and what it is in the first place. I hope you do enjoy this video, and here we go. So first of all, there's the issue of not being able to stand on ground. As you can see, right now I am swimming literally through an island, and I am only able to stand on in-game objects such as this one over here. I'm also able to stand on rocks and on large objects such as the cockpit over here. Now, as for the second issue, it's as you can see here, the objects that are far away are barely visible. They're very shady, and you can't really see them properly like you normally would. This brings us to our third issue, which is all sounds are like if you were in a cave, if you were actually inside a cave. And I'll just be quiet for a second and just let you hear that so you can see for yourself. Alright, so now that you've witnessed the issues that come along with this bug when it happens, it's time to actually find out what causes the bug in the first place. And over here, this is the first cause. It's actually a bug when you use the climbing axe. You see, I've encountered that bug twice when I was trying to get the climbing axe and then leave the cave for my first two times. It's when you're just climbing like that with the climbing axe, and out of nowhere you just fall below the map. And this is pretty much what it looks like. You later on find yourself in water, and then when you go up, you're unable to walk on land again. But let us actually get to the second cause, which is basically using a no-clip mod to get out of a cave. So I just entered a cave, and what I'm going to do right now is actually activate a no-clip hack or mod, and I'm going to use it to leave the cave, just like that. As you can see, I'm going up, and in a few moments I will be above ground again. Now you can already start to notice that objects far away are not very visible at the moment, which is pretty much the first indication that, yeah, I just got bugged again. Now, if you think about the first few issues we talked about and the causes, you may actually start to understand what actually causes this bug. You see, the indications were, first of all, not being able to stand on ground. Well, when you're inside a cave, you don't really stand on ground, do you? You're actually below ground level. You stand on either rocks or you swim into water, but that's it. Now, as for the second issue, which is not being able to see far objects properly, well, that's exactly what happens inside a cave. You have lighting issues. It's actually pretty hard to see things inside there. As for the third indication we talked about, the sounds, well, that one's pretty obvious. When you are inside a cave, you do hear things differently because there's the echo caused by the place. Now, if you think about how this whole situation happened in the first place, we had two scenarios. The first one was falling out of a cave due to a bug, which is getting out of the cave, basically, through a non-entrance method. Other than that, there was a second possibility where you would just no-clip outside a cave. Again, you are leaving the cave in a way different than the actual entrance or set of entrances that are placed for each cave. So these entrances or exits are the only way the game can realize that you actually entered or left a cave. If you leave in a different way, then, well, the game still thinks you are inside a cave. If you look at it programmatically, it's actually the fact that there is a variable, a boolean variable, that is either set to true or false. So let's say, for example, that variable is called player in cave. So when player in cave is true, then you are inside a cave. If player in cave is false, then you're not. And the only way to actually modify that variable is either by entering or leaving a cave. When you do enter the cave, it sets that variable to true. When you leave it, it sets it to false. But if you leave through a non-entrance or exit method, well, basically, the game still has that variable as set player in cave is true when you're not inside a cave. Now that brings us to the final part. How to actually fix this. As I mentioned, the only way to modify that variable is either by entering or leaving a cave. So if that's the only way to modify it, then that is the only way to fix it. All you have to do to fix the issue is to just enter a cave. So as you can see, I just tried to enter a cave and it actually kicked me out, because it thought that I was already in a cave. So when I pressed E, the default action was just to do the animation that sends me out again. Please note that you may also need to use a mod to get this issue resolved, because it gets very hard to move around and very hard to enter caves and to see and so on when you're having such a bug active. So there you have it. I hope this may have helped some of the people that may have been having this bug, and I'm also certain that this video will help get this issue resolved by the developers when I do make sure to send it to them. So thank you very much for watching, and I do hope you have a wonderful morning or evening.